First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Well, happy Thursday to all of you. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Tania Michelle, and this is Weather Extra, our streaming show that airs every weekday at 6:30. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so we're so glad for all of you to join us today. We have a lot to talk about. I mean, earlier, lots of chaotic weather, severe weather that swept through central Alabama fairly quickly, I'd say. Started about 8 a.m., was pretty much wrapped up around 4 p.m., and we're just seeing the aftermath of that. A couple of showers throughout this evening, and we'll get into those details shortly. And then also, we're going to see a chance for some colder weather to sweep through our area as well too. So welcome to First Alert Weather Extra. Once again, it's our all streaming platform show that airs every weekday at 6:30. So thanks again for joining us today. We're going to get into our forecast. So let's take it on over to the Key Wall and talk about that wind advisory that we have in place until 9 p.m. And those winds are going to get anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour throughout the rest of this evening. It is currently only 6:30, so we still have a couple more hours to go with some gusty winds. Wind gusts anywhere from 35 to 40 miles per hour, and we're seeing winds from the west anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. You definitely at this point want to make sure that you have all your outdoor objects nice and secured because those winds can be a little strong out there aftermath of the storms. But things are looking a lot calmer than what it was earlier. This is our First Alert sky vision of Oak Grove and Talladega County with temperatures not entirely too bad, fairly mild out there right now. Upper 50s is what we're looking at. Dew point around 48 degrees, and we're getting a west-northwest wind around 13 miles per hour, and wind gusts at the current moment, the last wind gusts in that area around 19 miles per hour. So just keep in mind that we are still seeing windy conditions out in the area. A little bit drier though, most definitely drier actually. Now here's central Alabama, those current temperatures. We're seeing temps across the area in the 50s to low 60 range. Some places mid 50s is 55 degrees in Walker County right there near Jasper. It looks like Coleman right now is getting temperatures in the low 50s, around 54 degrees. Cooler for my friends in Marion County with temperatures in the upper 40s, around 48, 52 degrees if you are near Vernon. Tuscaloosa right now at 59 degrees. As we move over slightly to the east, it looks like temperatures here slightly warmer, upper 50s right now, 56 if you're in Ashland, and 55 in Alexander City. So things haven't gotten too cold just yet, but we do have cold air that's going to start to move in throughout the night tonight. But let's check in with those current winds, okay? So we're seeing winds pick up across central Alabama, like I mentioned before. Jasper right now is seeing winds around 26 miles per hour. Haleyville right now, we have a 12 mile per hour wind, 19 miles per hour in Coleman, 14 in Oneonta, 21 mile per hour winds in Gadsden, 25 mile per hour winds in Talladega. It looks like Aliceville has winds just slightly above 20 miles per hour as well too. So a windy night tonight is what we're really expecting. But here's our First Alert AccuTrack. It doesn't look like we have much moisture on our radar at the current moment. There could be a couple of showers or sprinkles that roll through the evening for your Thursday. But other than that, the storms have moved out and now further out to the east over Georgia and now heading towards the Carolinas as well too. But let's talk about that rainfall. So after all the rain and storms that we had for our lunchtime hour today, we don't really see much rain accumulation on the ground. I mean, we're under an inch of rain in most places. The one place I'm seeing about an inch of rain is in Clanton, where we're seeing about 1.1 of an inch of rain there. If you are in Fayette, it looks like we're seeing under a third of an inch. And it looks like we're under an inch in Tuscaloosa, 0.44 of an inch in Birmingham. So not a whole lot of rainfall accumulation across central Alabama. Most places, like I mentioned before, under an inch of rain. It looks like Demopolis right here further down south and to the west seeing 1.1 of an inch of rain. So the rain is not what we really saw. We really saw those gusty winds, which was the main source to our storms today. Definitely some hail. We saw tons of people sending pictures of the hail that they saw coming from the sky that was left on the ground after the storm rolled through. But here's the rest of your Thursday evening. So let's walk through this. Around 8 p.m., we're going to see temperatures get really, really cold in the upper 30s. So those temperatures are going to drop pretty drastically in the next couple of hours. Right now, not too bad, but upper 30s by 8 p.m. and then low 30s overnight and into into your Friday morning. And Friday morning is going to be a cold one. I mean, we're expecting really, really cold temperatures as you wake up to go to work, take your kids to school. You're definitely going to want to bundle up, wear the layers, the hat, the scarves, the gloves. Temperatures tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. are going to be in the 30s. I mean, look at these temperatures across central Alabama. 36 degrees in Jasper, 38 degrees in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Jefferson County. We'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, 37 degrees in Talladega, 36 if you are in Ashland, 37 in Clanton. So a really cold into our week is what we're expecting. We're going to see those temperatures carry on into our Saturday as well too. But here's another First Alert Sky Vision of Young Jewelers, downtown Jasper, with temperatures right now in the mid 50s, around 55 degrees. Calm weather is what we're seeing right now. Definitely the aftermath of the storm. Winds out here coming from the west around 16 miles per hour. And then we're seeing wind gusts about 26 miles per hour. So we are seeing definitely calmer conditions across central Alabama at the current moment. And you notice that right there on our First Alert AccuTrack as well too. No more rain right now, but cold air definitely starting to filter in through the area. So we're going to see that drastic drop in our temperatures overnight tonight and through your Saturday as well too. So as you prepare for the weekend, and if you have weekend plans, you definitely want to plan to bundle up and wear those extra layers as you are headed out. But let's take a look at what's coming up next on First Alert Weather Extra. We're going to talk more about the confirmed tornadoes that we've seen over the area and some of the damage that happened in Selma. We're going to take a look at cold weather ahead and break down those temperatures as we approach the weekend. And then we're going to talk about some severe weather safety with our special guest, Ashlyn Jackson, who's going to talk to us from the National Weather Service. We're then going to take a look at some viewer photos and then that final look at our 7-day forecast. That's coming up on First Alert Weather Extra.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your First Alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert.
First Alert, we are tracking
In times like this,
we now have a tornado warning that's active.
having a way to see and hear what's happening on your phone,
The most intense part of this storm right now is tracking towards Shelby County.
that means everything.
Okay, you need to get in your safe place now. Stay there. We will let you know when this warning expires. Stay with us.
Download the First Alert Weather app today. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Mornings, they're yours. Where you start fresh, get your body moving, and tackle a new day. Our mornings are for you. Janice, Mike, Mickey, and Toy, starting early and staying with you all morning long. With more voices speaking to you where you are. And getting to the point with more First Alert weather and traffic from the source you trust. Always on your side. This is Good Day, Alabama.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Tania Michelle, and we are having a great time tonight. I mean, listen, earlier today, very, very hectic weather that we saw sweep across central Alabama, but as of right now, it is a lot calmer, so we get to take a deep breath and talk a little bit about what we saw throughout the storms that rolled through and the aftermath of it as well, too. Definitely some severe damage from tornadoes that swept through Selma, and it looks like Josh Gant is out there and had some income from took video and footage, and also took a look at how much damage that there was out there in Selma. Let's take a look at this package that he did earlier today.
Yeah, devastation here in Selma. We're at the corner of Franklin Street and Griffin Avenue. This is just one of the many homes behind me that have damage. I'm going to give you a 360 view of where we're at because that's just how much damage is in this part of the city. There is a roof that has been blown off of this home behind me. Down this particular street, there's a lot of trees down, power lines down. Then if you take a look here, this is down Franklin, and there is a big piece of metal that is wrapped around a a power pole there. It looks like a corkscrew. Coming around here, there's a huge tree that is fallen here, and then back behind there, we understand there's a church that has a lot of damage. We put our drone up just a short time ago, saw some roof damage. Neighbors telling me that they had just put a roof on that church within the past year or so. And back around now, this home here belongs to a former Army Ranger. When he got the call that the apparent tornado hit this community, once he got back, even though his home has damage, he immediately went out to make sure that his neighbors are okay, even helping a lady about a block or so from here, helping her get out of her home. Now, at last check, officials say there are some injuries here in Selma. At this point, we don't know the extent of those injuries. We're also told that there is damage to the Dallas County Jail, and officials short time ago putting in a curfew from dusk to dawn here in Selma. But right now, neighbors continue to help neighbors try and clean up, but there is a long road ahead for folks here in Selma. That'll do it for now. I'm Josh Gant reporting.
Thanks, Josh, and we are definitely sending out our prayers to all of you who experienced damage to your home, properties, or even injuries. And we also have some note of a couple of deaths as well, too. So definitely sending our prayers to those of you who have lost loved ones throughout the severe weather that swept through our area earlier today. And we are going to continue to keep you up to date with the damage reports that come as we progress throughout the night, and as more reports come into us from the National Weather Service and other outlets as well, too. And coming up, though, on First Alert Weather Extra, we're going to talk about some severe weather safety, so that how you can plan and prepare for the next opportunity of severe weather. That'll be right after the break.
January is Bath Safety Month, and I'm on site to see how West Shore Home is providing homeowners with safe and accessible bathing solutions. Today, we're going to do 2 installations in just one day. So let's go upstairs and check it out. So you can see this tub is really hard to step in. That increases your chances of falling. So what we're going to do to fix that is install an easy, low-step shower with beautiful sliding glass doors. But this isn't the only shower we're working on. We're going to go check out the next right now. So we're going to replace this tub with another tub, but what we really want to focus on is this up here, the drywall above the shower, because if moisture gets in there, mold can form, and that can be a huge problem. We're going to fix that by bringing the walls all the way up to the ceiling. That will eliminate any concern of mold growing. So it's time for me to get out of here so the installers can get to work. We'll check back in when the job is done. So the installers just wrapped up, and this looks amazing. They took the walls all the way up to the ceiling, and they were able to replace that old tub with something new and modern. But this isn't the only project they worked on today. Let's go check out the other bathroom. In just one day, the West Shore Home team was able to complete 2 installations. And the crazy part is, we do this type of job every day. So if you're looking for a safer bathing solution, give us a call and you can get this great offer. Call in now because we're doing 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means you don't have to worry about paying anything on your project until well into 2024. Plus, we're taking 20% off all shower and bath projects. Call West Shore Home now.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Tania Michelle, and we are spending a little time together tonight. We have seen a lot happen throughout the day today. Severe storms swept through central Alabama, as we've been talking about it all day, and we've seen damage reports, and people lost their homes, properties have been damaged, power outages. And so now we want to talk about how you can prepare, because that is the next P that we are doing now, preparing and planning for the case of an event like this to happen again, and how you can have a better outcome in the case of a severe storm moving through your area. So today we're going to talk to someone very special. Her name is Ashlyn Jackson, and Ashlyn is an employee at the National Weather Service. She is a meteorologist and a professional to help give us some tips today on how we can better prepare. Hi, Ashlyn. It's so good to see you.
Hi, Tania. It's good to see you as well.
Okay, Ashlyn, well, first of all, tell us about what you do and a little bit about your occupation.
Yes, so I am a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Jackson, Mississippi. It is part of the federal government. So a little bit just about my job. I've been there for 2 years now, and I honestly have pretty much gotten more weather there than a lot of people have in their whole lives. So we deal a lot with putting out weather reports. So we do our 7-day weather reports. We do short term. We issue watches and warnings, as well as other things such as aviation reports, agriculture, and pretty much just doing anything along the lines of outreach, anything weather related.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we thank you for what you do. And now we want to talk about how important it is to have a severe weather safety plan. How important is that?
Absolutely crucial, especially being down south and going through so many different types of weather. It's very, very important that you have some type of plan in place when we have events such as today happen. So, what exactly is a safety plan? So, it really depends on the person, but the basic things that you would want to have in your safety plan, you would want to make sure that you know where you're going to go if any type of tornado watch or warning is issued. So, if you live in a house, you'd want to go to somewhere that has as many walls in between you and the outside, no windows. If you happen to be in a mobile home, you'd want to go to a storm shelter. Or if you just happen to be in your occupation where you work, that would apply. You would make sure you need to know where you're going to go whenever there is any type of inclement weather. Other things that you would want to have in with your safety plan. So making sure that you have materials that you need to survive if there is any type of, say, the lights went out. So you'd want to make sure you have flashlights, batteries. You'd want to have water. You want to make sure that somebody knows where you are. Make sure that somebody has your location. So if anything happens where you're trapped, um, someone would know where to look for you. So those are just some of the smaller things that you'd want to have when you do have a weather plan.
Thanks, Ashlyn. And I really love how you mentioned definitely making sure that somebody knows where you're at. That's something that I don't think a lot of people will even think about. Letting someone know can be as simple as sending a text saying, hey, listen, I'm now in my basement, or hey, listen, I'm now sitting in this part of my room. It seems like a storm is about to move through my area. This is where I'm at, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's such a great way to start. And if something was to happen, if someone couldn't reach you, at least they know where to find you. Okay, so my next question for you, Ashlyn, is why do meteorologists and weather experts in general stress protecting your head in the case of a severe storm?
Yeah, so if you really think about it, when you're thinking about any type of high winds, tornadoes, they're picking things up and throwing them around. So with that, you could be impaled by something. Something could hit you in your head that could cause some type of head injury, that could cause any type of spinal cord injury. Um, if God forbid something happens to where you're lifted up into the tornado and you're flung around, you hit your head. You'd want something to protect your head at the very least. So that could be a lot of causes with fatalities are people getting hit in their head. So you would want to at least protect that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And now my next question for you, Ashlyn, is that we know that there are some home structures or buildings that have stronger foundations, but now what can someone do if they live in a mobile home? We often stress that, hey, if you're in a mobile home, statistics show that you're actually safer outside of that mobile home than you are inside of it. So if someone lives in a mobile home and they know that a storm is moving through their area, severe weather, tornado activity in their area, what advice do you have for someone that lives in a mobile home?
Yeah, so if I can't stress anything else, if you live in a mobile home, you need to have a safety plan. So in that safety plan, the most important part for someone who lives in a mobile home is to know where they're going to go. Whether that is a local storm shelter, which you can reach out to your local emergency managers and they can give you any type of information about storm shelters that are near you. If you have a family or a friend or even just a neighbor that you know that happens to not live in a mobile home, reach out to them. Hey, we have severe weather that could be coming within the next couple of hours, the next day. I just want to give you a heads up that if things do go south, can we camp out at your place in order to stay safe? that's a big thing, having a community where you can have somewhere to go to. And if at the very, very absolute, if this is going to be the last resort, but if there happens to be a ditch, something that is far more underground, or just very, very low into the ground, you want to get there and you want to make sure you cover your head. But that is the absolute last resort that we like to stress.
And you mentioned storm shelter. Can you explain what that is exactly?
Yeah, so a storm shelter is basically a building that is meant to withstand certain elements. So with that, certain tornadoes up to a certain extent, that's where you would go to pretty much be safe. So up to maybe an EF3, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it's different for different buildings. But you'd go there and you'd be able to withstand certain wind thresholds. So you won't have to worry about walls falling. You won't have to worry about the roof coming off up to a certain extent. So that's why we stress going to a storm shelter if you don't have anywhere to go, because that is going to be your best bet to safety.
And my last question for you, Ashlyn, is what should someone do in the event of a last minute? I'm talking last minute. They have gotten a warning that a tornado is literally in their area and they're not near a storm shelter. What should they do?
Yeah, so absolute last resort. If there's any type of establishment, any type of building, that would be the first place that I would go, especially if it looks like it's sturdy. That would be the first place I would go. And if there's absolutely nothing around you, then the best thing is going to be to get in some type of ditch that is pretty significantly lower elevation than the ground around it. And you would do the same thing. You would cover your head. But again, I do want to stress, please have a safety plan and make sure that you have different ways to receive watches and warnings so you never have to put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, and one way that we can, you can stay alert here is downloading our First Alert Weather app. But I want to thank you, Ashlyn, for joining us today, because honestly, you broke it down in such simpler terms. And I want to thank you as well, too, for joining us last minute. I know you're in your car and you're out and about, so we appreciate it. We really, really do. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you do, as well as giving knowledgeable information to those of us out here who are just learning and trying to make it through, especially severe weather. So we really appreciate you for joining us today. Thank you again.
Yes, of course.
Oh, so good to catch up with Ashlyn right there. And she gave us some really, really good tips. She also mentioned being or having some sort of tool to get information. And with that, you can download our First Alert Weather app. We give you updates, current updates in your area for your local weather. But after the break, we're going to talk about and show some viewer photos of some of the damage and more damage across central Alabama. So continue to stick with us. We'll be right back.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your First Alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert.
First Alert, we are tracking
In times like this,
We now have a tornado warning that's active.
having a way to see and hear what's happening on your phone,
The most intense part of this storm right now is tracking towards Shelby County.
that means everything.
Okay, you need to get in your safe place now. Stay there. We will let you know when this warning expires. Stay with us.
Download the First Alert Weather app today. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Mornings, they're yours. Where you start fresh, get your body moving, and tackle a new day. Our mornings are for you. Janice, Mike, Mickey, and Toy, starting early and staying with you all morning long. with more voices speaking to you where you are, and getting to the point with more First Alert weather and traffic from the source you trust. Always on your side. This is Good Day Alabama.
All right, welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. We are right now taking a look at our First Alert sky vision of Young Jewelers, downtown Jasper, with temperatures right now at 54 degrees, dew point at 48, and our winds are coming from the west-northwest around 17 miles per hour, and we're still seeing some wind gusts out there as well too, with that advisory in place until 9 p.m. tonight. Wind gusts can get up to about 40 miles per hour, so just keep that in mind. A little windy. You're definitely going to want a jacket or coat if you have plans for this Thursday evening. And wind gusts out there right now, the last wind gust was around 25 miles per hour. So just be safe out there, everyone. But I can tell you this, the severe weather has passed by. There is no severe weather right now in our area. So as we take a look now at what temperatures look like right now across central Alabama. And take a look at this. We're seeing Birmingham right now with temperatures around 58 degrees, Tuscaloosa in the upper 50s at 59, Coleman at 52 degrees. It looks like Columbiana and also Anniston right now with temperatures around 59 degrees. A little cloudier for my friends in Tuscaloosa and Coleman. We're seeing mostly clear skies in Anniston and clear skies in Birmingham and Columbiana. But I can tell you this, it's going to get colder, and we're giving you a first alert for colder weather for your Friday morning. Look at those temperatures Friday morning, 37 degrees in Birmingham, Pell City, Alabaster, and Clanton, 38 degrees for my friends in Tuscaloosa County, Centerville, Utah right there at 38 as well too. Colder in Marion County at 34 degrees for their morning low. So if you're going to school or work tomorrow morning, or if you even have plans just to be outdoors, definitely plan to bundle up, wear the layers, grab a hat, a scarf, protect yourself, and dress warm so that you can stay comfortably warm for the cold mornings. And I will tell you this, that these are the wind chill values for Friday morning. I mentioned that it's going to be 34 degrees in Marion County, but it's going to feel like 29 degrees. So because we still have winds that are going to be picking up throughout the end of this week, definitely keep that in mind. The winds can make it feel a little colder out there. It's going to feel like 33 degrees tomorrow morning in Birmingham. And a real quick recap, wind chill values are a combination of the wind and temperature. So it's more how it feels to your skin, how cold the air is going to feel. It's going to feel like 35 in Rockford, 33 in Clanton. So keep that in mind. It's going to feel a lot colder when you leave the house tomorrow morning. So we can see a chance for some flurries, but some rain also as well too. It looks like that cold air will help to make it be some flurries coming from the sky, along with wet moisture as well too. So temperatures are going to really remain above freezing, but because the winds are sweeping through as well too, we can see some flurries come down from the sky. So you might want to pay attention to that if you've been looking for a chance to see a little bit of snow, that we could see that, but we aren't going to see much accumulations expected with this. Okay, so not a lot of it's going to reach the surface. So that shouldn't affect your travel plans or even the roads. As of right now, here's the road temperatures, because we're going to keep a close eye on this. If it does get cold enough, which I don't think it will, to drop the road temperatures below freezing, the moisture that we'll see tomorrow, just a little bit of moisture, it won't really stick to the ground and cause any ice patches on the road. So right now, temperatures on the roads look pretty good. So that's some good news for us there, okay? Now, as we move forward, we're giving you a first alert for Saturday morning for cold temperatures as well too. Temperatures will be even colder than what you're going to see Friday morning. Upper 20s, 29 degrees in Birmingham, 27 in Coleman, 26 if you're in Hamilton. We will see lots of sunshine though, so that is the bright side to your weekend. If you just have plans, definitely once again to dress nice and warm, okay? Now, let's check out some temperatures across the world, right? So we looked at temperatures over our area. We're sitting in the 50s as of right now. Looks like over Texas and Dallas in the low 50s there. But as we move across the globe just a little bit, let's move up north where it looks a little colder. It looks like Montana right now is seeing temperatures in the 30s, and North and South Dakota with temperatures in the single digits. Oh my gosh, 5 degrees in North Dakota, 19 degrees in South Dakota. And let's talk about Canada a little bit too, because why not, right? Looks like Alberta seeing single digit temperatures as well too. British Columbia with temperatures in the teens, 15 degrees there. -8 degrees in Yukon. Oh my goodness, these Canadian territories definitely a lot colder, but I mean, they're further north, so what do you expect, right? And it looks like -13 degrees in some places of the Northwest Territory up there in Canada as well too. So let's talk a little bit about the power outages. It looks like some areas over our central Alabama is still seeing some power outages. It looks like a lot of the power outages that happened over Alabaster and Centerville have now been recovered, but we're still seeing places that are lacking power due to the storms that swept through here earlier today. And it looks like 900 people in the county where we saw the tornado sweep through through earlier today as well too. So we're just keeping that in mind, that there is some power outages across central Alabama. And so we're hoping that working crews are working to get that up and running back again. Okay, so let's talk about that 7-day forecast, which you've been waiting for. The chance for some flurries and colder weather for your Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to see a lot more sunshine, but still pretty chilly out there with daytime highs in the upper 40s Saturday and Sunday around 55 degrees. Monday we'll see a warming trend start to happen. Okay, but that also brings the chance for some rain, moisture coming in, warm air from the south and east and also southwest as well too throughout this weekend. Going to feel for some rain showers into next week. Okay, so we're going to see temperatures back in the upper 50s for your Monday, giving you a 20% chance for some showers at this current point for your Martin Luther King Day. Tuesday, we're going to see more rain expected. So we're giving you a 50% chance for showers with temperatures back close to 70, upper 60s there for your Tuesday. Wednesday, we're giving you a 30% chance for some showers with temperatures around 71. And then Thursday, temperatures will start to drop. And that's mainly because the rain is sweeping through, cooling those daytime highs there. But you can always download our First Alert weather app to stay up to date with what's going on in your current area. And we just want to continue to show you guys that 7-day forecast just for a couple of seconds so that you can get a final look of it. And now I'm going to change our Weather Extra sign back behind me to send you off on a nice goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight on First Alert Weather Extra. Once again, I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Tania Michelle. Be sure to tune in tonight for First at 9 for more weather updates and more on your extended forecast as well too. Wes will be here back at 9 o'clock, and we hope to see you again tomorrow, where Ashlyn Jackson surprisingly will be back for meteorologists around the world. Catch us again tomorrow for First Alert Weather Extra.